So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes an update on a PlayStation 5 exclusive shooter, big reveals this month potentially, and Final Fantasy 16 gets a solid upgrade. First, what game are you playing this weekend? It's been a while since we've done this. I honestly want to do it more often since it's always nice to see what everyone is playing and people find out new games they haven't heard about before. I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 16, as you guys already know, and Dodgeball Academia, solid indie title, and factions. As always, I'm always playing factions, but that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below, what game are you playing this weekend? Let us know it down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, PS5 exclusive shooter update. Earlier this year, Sony revealed that Helldivers 2 is an actual real game and is coming out in 2023. For many people, Helldivers was an over-the-top co-op shooter, but Arrowhead Games and Sony made the sequel a full-on third-person co-op shooter. We still don't have a date for the game, or we don't know when it's going to release, but we got new information on the game itself alongside a new trailer. I'll have the link for the full details below in the description, below that like button, but I'll go over the summary of what we can expect from the game. So first up, drop into each mission with Hell Pods. This is the same thing as the first game. 4-player co-op where players strategize before each mission with custom loadouts. These loadouts includes, weapons, armors, and stratagems. These are basically perks. I don't know if you would call them perks or something like that, but you have this ability to call in hardware like armor-piercing weapons, airstrikes, shield generators. In the first game, you had sentries. I'm assuming you'll have that here as well. So those are very useful in battle, and which ones you choose are important in terms of how the whole team works together. Cooperative objectives and optional objectives in each mission. Players can move about the map and share their location. That one's an interesting one. And of course, Helldivers 2 drops this year for the PlayStation 5. So I've been playing Helldivers 1 to get ready for Helldivers 2. I'm not a veteran at the original. And a lot of the details here that I'm seeing are existing functionalities in Helldivers 1. Obviously, apart from the game being a third-person shooter versus the first game being an over-the-top shooter. Things like stratagems are a lot of fun to use, calling down sentries or more powerful guns to take out enemies in the first game is a lot of fun. Things that seem to be different for the sequel, outside of it obviously again being a third-person shooter, is where they mention players can move about the map and share their location. In the first game, you guys have to stay in the same screen, but here it's a third-person shooter, so you don't have that same limitation. I'm wondering if players can split off from each other to finish various objectives on the map and then maybe reconnect to finish the main mission and extract out of the map. If I'm understanding that right, that sounds pretty fun. Maybe 2 players could go to this mission, 2 players can go to that mission, and they can all reconvene to take out the main mission. In terms of a release date, I'm wondering why we haven't gotten one yet. We're in July now, and we still don't know when this game drops. October is too busy. November is probably when Call of Duty drops and everybody's playing that. September could be the time they release this, but that's literally 2 months away, and we still have no information on when this game is supposed to release. I'm not sure why they haven't committed to a date yet. Hopefully, we get one soon.
Target's angle will get deflected and not penetrate the intended target.
Now, diving into the second story of the video, PS5 Game Update 1.03. Reading from Push Square, the first post-launch update for Final Fantasy 16 is available to download now on the PlayStation 5, bringing the Square Enix title up to version 1.0000.003. I just put 1.03 because I can't really put that in the whole title, but the patch adds a couple of new features to the game, like a motion blur toggle, another 3 controller layout, and more extensive camera sensitivity options. The stability of some menus is also said to be improved, and some text issues have also been fixed. It's a 267.1 megabyte download. Now, the big one for me, before that, if you want to know more details, I'll have that linked below so you can check out the entire patch notes. But the big one for me here is the motion blur update. Before, you had a lot of motion blur in the game that anytime you moved the camera, it was hard to see what was going on. For some people, a lot of motion blur gets them nauseated as well. As for the update for the motion blur and how it's changed, reading from the Final Fantasy 16 official Twitter account, motion blur strength allows the player to adjust the strength of the motion blur effect when the character or camera is in motion. The default setting is the maximum of 5. This can be lowered to reduce the strength of the motion blur effect, or set to 0 to turn it off completely. So for me, I turned it off completely, and the game has become much more eye-pleasing to play for me personally. I like that they gave you a kind of a dial to control the strength. So if you like having motion blur on, you just don't want it to be at the crazy maximum that they've set it on before, you can kind of lower it and play around with it to see what fits for you. But you guys let me know if you're still playing Final Fantasy 16 like me or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, big reveals this month. Reading from Push Square, expect big Marvel Spider-Man 2 PS5 reveals on 20th July. Comic book giant Marvel teased it earlier this week, and now developer Insomniac Games has confirmed it. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con on 20th July 2023. The roundtable named Symbiotic Relationships will feature staffers from the Burbank studio as well as actors from the game. Exactly what will be discussed is still under wraps, but you can probably expect a new trailer and some tidbits about the title's story. We also wouldn't be surprised if some new gameplay details are announced, perhaps pertaining to open world activities, minigames, or side quests. Obviously, Sony is not attending Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show this year, so it's going to need to get this information out at some point before the 20th October release date, and SDCC seems like a great venue for that. So I'll keep you guys updated on what we get from this event, what we get in terms of Spider-Man. So definitely subscribe if you want to keep up with that. Besides that, I don't know why people seem to forget that Sony does state of plays for their major titles. They could very well do a state of play for Spider-Man 2 in August, which lays out a full mission run like how they did for Ghost of Tsushima, and maybe show some side quests and how they work and how they're different from the first game. That's not to say we won't get some of that information at this event at SDCC, but state of plays, obviously, they're a thing. They do those for their major titles before the game launches. Regardless, I'm interested in this event mainly because Venom seems to be the focus here. I'm curious to see what we'll get. Will it be a story trailer where we finally actually see Venom fully in game, and maybe a tease to how fighting him might be? I guess we'll see. But some people might want that to be saved for the final game, but maybe a teaser would just be fine for people who want to see it. July 20th isn't far off, so we're pretty close. But you guys let me know if you're excited to see what we get for Spider-Man 2 at SDCC or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "The Weekend is Here." Like I asked you in the beginning of the video what you guys are going to be playing, I'm excited that the weekend is here so I can finally just chill and play some video games. If you're excited for that as well, which I assume most of you are, destroy the comment section with "The Weekend is Here," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.